Welcome to another episode of the Sabrosa Effect, the Sabrosa podcast. We're here in Virginia with a very special guest, Michael Millions, everybody. Give
Thank
it
you.
up.
Yo, thanks for
Legendary
having me.
stuff.
Oh, legend? I don't know.
Legendary
Yo, you
stuff. We're
gotta
going
teach
to
me
get
how to
into
roll
it.
my R's like that. Say it again.
Legendary stuff.
No, the title of the show.
Oh, the Sabrosa Effect.
See, I said it wrong. Sabrosa. Effect.
Sabrosa.
Yo, Michael Millions, 9 million. Sabrosa effect.
You know the vibes. Now we pulled up our Michael Millions in his element. We're actually in his studio. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I feel great. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better now that I'm here doing what I love.
Yeah.
But this is not the first time that I've actually been here. This is the second time that I've been here.
Yeah.
But this is like the first time that we get to chop it up and like get into, who is Michael Millions? You wear so many hats, so I just feel like people should get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm down.
I bet. So let's get right into it. So, um, is your name Michael?
My name is Michael.
Okay, so why did you choose to keep your actual name as like your artist name or your stage name?
Yo, I could answer that with a story if you cool.
Go ahead.
All right, so when I was a kid, I used to beg my dad to cut the grass, right?
Mhm.
And I was like 5, 6 years old, and I would beg him, "Yo, let me cut the grass, let me cut the grass."
Mhm.
So one day he's like, "All right, son, go cut the grass." So I'm outside cutting the grass. The lawnmower's over my head, right?
Yeah.
So I cut the grass, and when I get done, I run in the crib, and I'm like, "Yo, Dad, I'm done with the grass." And so he comes outside and he looks at the grass. And he walks down the steps a little bit. He looks at the grass some more. He walks down the driveway and then walks into the street and goes, "Yo, Michael, yo, come in." And I'm like, "All right." He was like, "Nice work, but yo, you see that yard over there?"
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You see how the lines is all straight and like that trick I was showing you, with the overlapping, when so you don't miss no lines." And then he said, "You see over there how they kind of did the same thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You see at the end of the lawn, they put the sign like to let you know who did it." And he was like,
True.
"Yeah." He said, "Now let's look at our yard. You did a good job, but like you made a few mistakes to kind of." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, yeah, I missed this spot and I missed this spot." And he was like, "Yeah, now would you put your name like, yo, Michael did this lawn and then you got these professionals?" And I was like, "Oh." He was like, so
Yeah.
he walks back in the crib. I go to the garage and get the lawnmower again. I cut the grass like perfectly this time. I'm like straight. I overlapping. The lawnmower still like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I was done, I went in the crib and grabbed some poster board. My mom at the time, she was OD on school supplies, so it was like extra poster board. So I took the poster board and I wrote my sign like
Yeah, like I
Michael
did that.
Lawn something. I
Yeah.
don't even remember the sign, but before I went and told my dad, I went and put the sign in the yard like I stuck it. I don't even know how I got propped the
It was
joint
like a
up,
stamp.
but it was like. And then I
Yeah.
told my dad to come back out, and he was like, "Word." He was like, "Oh yeah, you put your name on it." So I always was like, from there, it taught me like the power of your name and like
Yeah.
to keep your name good and do good work under your name because that's kind of all you got. So when it came to the rapping shit, I had some few different names when I was younger, but Michael always preceded one of the rap names that I was known for. I used to go by Mike Titan, like Tiny Giant, but it was kind of it wasn't working because the streets had given me this other name called Millions. That it was Mills, and then it was like Mike. Then someone started saying Mills, and then someone started saying Millions. And because my name was Michael, and there were other Michaels, people would be like, they would talk about me at the barbershops, maybe on some rap shit. They'd be like, "Mike who? Mike Mills," and then it was like Mike Millions. So it
Yeah.
became Millions was like my name before like it was superseding the rap name I had even
It was like
created.
who you were in real life.
Yeah, because everybody's like, "Oh, that's Mills," or "That's
Yeah.
Millions," or da 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 da.
You
And I'm like,
merged
"Oh
it.
shit!" So when I got signed, I was actually going by Mike Titan, but the day I signed, I actually signed under Michael Millions.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, and then I took that name because it was just easier, and it just was a last name. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's why I
fire.
use my
Yeah,
real name. But
cause that makes sense though, because it's like it. You're. I feel like that going through that with your pops, that taught you like the value of putting your name on something,
yeah,
and like the value of like, what it means to like stamp your name on something, like give your best work or don't. It like shifts your
yeah.
perspective
And
just
it's
in general.
and then this the other side of it. When I was coming up, yo, like it's Michael, right? My dad's name is Michael, so I'm the second. He didn't name me Junior, but he named me the second, so I always looked at that as like, royalty and shit
Mhm.
like that. But coming up, a lot of the greats that I was watching, their name was Michael. It was
Mhm.
Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? It was Mike Tyson. It was Michael Bolton doing, playing instruments. It was Michelangelo, the artist. It was Michelangelo, the Ninja Turtle. It was
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. I was about to get there. We
Yeah.
had Michael Jackson. Um, Michael Ende that created all the Never Ending Story movie,
Mhm.
um, and Michael Keaton that played like the first
Yeah,
Batman.
there is a lot of
So
Mike.
it was a lot of
That's true.
pressure on me as a kid, and
Yeah.
I grew up in my room. I had a Michael Jackson poster on my wall, so my name. Once my dad instilled that shit in me, and that's also around the time frame I was falling into music, 9, 10 years old. Well, my lawn story was a little more ahead of that, but as I got to like that age of like picking up my pen,
Mhm.
yeah, it was like, oh shit, yo, I want to
Yeah.
be one of the great Michaels.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of been my like life journey since I was like 10,
But I
trying to.
feel like you've been ahead of the like you've known what you wanted from a young age because like you said before, you were signed out of 14, right?
Nah, I started recording music at 14, but I signed for the first time at 17.
Yeah, but that's still young
Yeah,
because
yeah,
at
yeah.
17, a lot of people don't even know they don't even know if they want to go to college. They don't even know what they want to do. They don't even know if they
And
want
I
to work.
was
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
was in college. Like I went to college at a young age. Like I was in college at 17. So
mhm.
going to college and getting a record deal at the same time was kind of. And I'm still just a kid. I can't
Yeah.
even drink or like barely get in the spots with like my friends that are like
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
But I got like a deal. I'm at school with like label merch and going to class and
Yeah. How
yeah.
was that for you like going through that you know, being signed at such a young age and knowing what you wanted out of life so young. Like how was
Well,
that
like
like
the
amongst your
sound part
peers?
was just like what was coming with the territory. I came up with a lot of different artists, and that was like that when I got signed, that was me coming to a place where, they just accepted me
Mhm.
for the art or accepted me for what I had going on at that time. But yeah, I mean, it didn't. I don't know if it really like. I don't know if I really even understood what it all meant back then. You know what I'm saying? Because um, I was doing a lot of new shit. I was going to college and I'm doing these things. So I don't know, what was it like? It was a lot of work. I had to
Mhm.
I was in the studio a lot, but that's where I wanted to be. So
Mhm.
I don't think it I don't know, I always just been in the music. That's the craziest thing. Like this shit been mad limiting. You know what I'm saying? I never was nice in ball or I never did, arts and crafts outside of like, building shit or something. But um, it's just been music my whole
Yeah.
life. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I think about that shit now and I'm like, damn, yo, like, have you limited yourself or have you just is this the results of just diving into your dreams 100%? And
Yeah.
I'm willing to just if that's how I go in this lifetime, I'm like, yo, at least I did it like this and not like that, and then
Yeah.
so that's kind of how I carry the scale.
Do you come from like your family? Like, do you come from like a musical background? Like, is
Nah,
that the
I
reason
mean,
why you've been doing it for so long
mm-mm.
at
I
such a
mean,
young
I've heard
age?
stories of my family members being in bands and shit, and my dad would play the flute in the crib every now and then,
Mhm.
but not even every now and then. He played this shit a lot when we was a kid, but nah, I wasn't like a musical background.
Mhm.
Like once my parents gave me like access to music,
Mhm.
I was like self-discovery. But my dad had a lot of music that I
Yeah.
discovered, but it wasn't like he was like, yo, Mike, here go this tape,
Yeah.
listen to this.
Yeah.
He just had shit, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna go listen to the Snoop Dogg joint. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go listen to this MC8 joint. Or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to the Janet Jackson joint or whatever the case was. You know what I'm saying? So I would just go through. He to this day has like, you know, for me, you know, my mom bought us like encyclopedias when we was young. You know, the books. Y'all remember them shits?
Expanded your vocabulary,
Yeah,
though.
but you know, my encyclopedia, I would read them shits, but my encyclopedia was really like my dad's music catalog. So
Mhm.
and he would kind of keep it in alphabetical order, which was great. So I could like run through like different artists and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it wasn't like a musical background. It was music around me. I loved the shit, and I don't know. I didn't know I was going to rap, you know, but once rap found me, that was a quick thing, but
Mhm.
that's where I've been.
And then fast forward now, because you already know what it's like to go through like having a deal and all of that. And then fast forward, you have your own label, Purple Republic Music Group.
Yeah. That's actually that, you know, that was the label. We do have a new label launching, but yes, I've had a independent label for a while.
So being on both sides of the coin, what would be some advice that you could give to other up and coming artists that like are trying to figure out if they want to be in a major deal or they want to be independent? Like, what would you
So
tell
it
them?
just depends on it's a perspective thing. Like, yo, you know, getting a major deal is like hitting the lottery. When we say a major deal, you know, I'm talking like M's, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
M's on the table, real M's, not just like play M's. But that's not the game we in. So when we talk about like the average deal right now, I tell artists stay independent. You
Mhm.
know, you can fuck around and sign a decent deal that may, you know, afford you to pay for a good project, or, you know, maybe even get Christmas good for your kids one time. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But you
Mhm.
still got a lot of recouping. A lot of these artists out here are still just finding out that
Mhm.
record deals are just terrible loans.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Interest on those things is crazy. Like,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
it's just like,
there's
when
so
do you
many
guys see
artists.
your money as an artist? And you're really like, and then a lot of people get screwed for their publishing, which is like really all artists really
Yeah, so it's
has,
just like,
you know?
yeah,
Like the
so
only leverage, really.
yeah, it's just your ownership of who you is. So
Yeah.
I tell people stay indie,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, stay indie, and if you can get yourself into a situation at a label where, you know, their partnership with you is beneficial, then do that. But, you know, if you can definitely excel as an independent artist, if you,
Mhm.
one, got the music, two, you know, got all the other factors that play into making just a good artist, not just a rapper or just a singer, just all the things that make a good artist. And,
Mhm.
you know,
And you do wear many hats because you're an artist. Like, you do music, like you rap, but you
yeah.
also produce.
Well, yeah, well, the technical term would be producing, but truly, I'm a studio engineer.
You're an engineer.
Yeah, I'm a recording engineer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so I don't make any beats.
Mhm.
Well,
Have you?
yes, but
Okay.
for the record, I just be like, I always say I don't make no beats, but I have. But truth of the matter, I spend most of my time as an engineer, like a rap version of like Quincy Jones,
Yeah.
working with a lot of artists, working on a lot of records for myself. So
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time just working with artists in their most intimate and vulnerable spaces, as
Yeah.
far as like getting records done and getting them finished and getting these ideas out. So I work in that space with people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I mean, you're working at a very high level because you recently, I did see something, circulating around there that you were nominated for a Grammy recently with Mad Skills.
Yeah.
That's set for February
Yeah,
2025.
yeah. We'll find out if
How's that? Like, are you excited?
honestly, yeah. So yo, I really I haven't been able to like put into words what that feel like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like in this game, like music, or just like anything else, like a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I think this is like the only way in music we get to put doctor in front of our name, or
Yeah.
get to change our name for journalism, and it's like forever and ever. Even if we never get awarded, or you know, whatever the case may be, forever, you know, I'll be part of a Grammy nominated project. You know, and that's a forever thing, and I think that's really cool. To even have that a part of my history and my journey. And I think it's a rare experience, especially for where we from, and for what we do. I know it's not that many like black engineers and black mastering engineers and, you know, rap artists that are like getting these opportunities to, you know, use their talents this way. So it's definitely something. I mean, the feeling, I don't know. I haven't been able to describe it, but I'll say this. And I said this, but it's like, yo, when people be like, yo, anything is possible, and you hear it, but you like, yo, you right, anything. Now I'm like, yo, anything is fucking possible. Y'all let me get one of those? Oh shit. Y'all might get the Ferrari next. But why not?
Why not?
Yo, this, you know what I'm saying? It's enough for everybody, and that it just makes me think about, you know, what everybody on and what people want. Sometimes people, like, if you know what you want in life, and I'm not talking about like it could be basic like shoes, but you can't, like, if you don't know which ones you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might get a lot of shoes, but not the ones. You know what I'm saying? And in that same breath, it's like, once you know what you want, you realize like, yo, you don't want the same things that I want, and you don't want the same things, and now you realize since we don't want the same things, it's more than enough for us to have exactly what we want.
Exactly.
In this lifetime, right now, because that's what it says.
Yeah, because the thing is that once you start operating in like your purpose, right? Like I feel like those doors start to open. Like once you know exactly what you want, you kind of attract those things. So it's like this is the actual product of all like your journey up until this point. And sometimes we're just so focused on the next thing. Like you're a busy man, probably you work on so many artists projects, you're probably always doing something, right? So you're always focused on, okay, I got this going on, I got that going on. That's why you're saying you haven't been able to process it. But like now, like, see, I asked you the question, so you're sitting thinking about it, because you're like, yo, I have to think about this. And it's really your journey, like the benefit of your journey up until this point. And I feel like once you obtain an accolade like that, whether it becomes a win or not, it's still something you achieved, and it's still like a moment that, and that shit goes on your resume no matter what. Like, you feel me? So, and it's like, then you're gonna be focused on, I gotta do something bigger than that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I look at it all like, you know, it's like, I look at it all, you know, I look at the whole journey, and sometimes people, you know, that's the most recent thing that occurred. But if I really told you my whole story, you probably be like, oh shit. You know, because it's a lot of shit like that in my story, but this is just something else that happened. So I try not to, even in this moment, I'm like, yo, if I get hype on that, you know, I might miss it. You know what I'm saying? We might stay right there, and really, that's just a part of the whole. You know what I'm really envisioning. I ain't really touch that. You know what I'm saying?
So, well, I just want to congratulate you.
Well, thank you.
And give you your flowers, because that's so very exciting. And
I
it's, you know,
it.
and you work very hard. I mean, I did have a conversation with Danielson the last time that I saw him, and he did tell me that, like, he did speak very highly of you, and he said like you're a good dude, and that you work on a lot of things here in Virginia. Like, you're the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to thank you for just being available for people to just work with you, because sometimes, you know, once you go to certain levels, like, people just kind of forget, you know what I'm saying? And that's important.
I think it's just important. Like, if you got a talent, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a talent. And like, if people just want, you know, here's the thing. If you want money the easiest thing to get. You know what I'm saying? I think money is easy to get. But talent, like, if you've been given a gift, your only responsibility on earth is to give it back. And so, you know, what I try to do with what I do is like, yo, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
let me give it back.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like but if it's what I'm supposed to be doing, it's not about that. And I realized like, yo, I know homies that got into this shit for bread, and now they not in this shit at all.
Yeah.
Majority of the shit I've done in this shit, it's been done for free or way under budget. You know what I'm saying? I've done, and majority I do for free. Most people don't know that. But why? Because it gave me the experience. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, whereas even I'll just say as on the engineer, the average engineer in the average studio is not working on a full album a year. They might work on a lot of songs, but they might not be working with one artist on one album a year.
Yeah.
And so through experience, I've worked on over 150 albums, but that's taught me how to work with this vocal and that vocal and this style of music and that style of music and this genre and that. So through experience,
those are lessons.
So some people are like, yo, they got into it for the money. I got into it to learn everything I could.
Yeah.
So, but through that, it's like the story of the alchemist. Now it's like, oh damn, when you look back and you got like 100 and something projects behind you, and you like, damn, look at all I learned through that. You know what I'm saying? But had I been out here trying to like, yo, I charge this and this is what I'm worth and this my value and this is what I think. Yo, you ask people what they, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay.
But you ask people what they value is, you really calculate the shit up. Some people are really only worth $5 out here. And they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they'll tell you, I'm worth $100 because I got a $600 camera.
Exactly.
Nah, that's not true. When I got into engineering, I was engineering for free. The ill thing about working with Mad Skills is he was the first person to put money. I've been engineering for years. He was the first person to put money in my hand as in engineering. And he like overpaid me. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, yo, here, man, just take it. Yo, you doing all this shit.
That's amazing, yeah.
So it's like kind of full circle. But like, I've learned more by doing shit for free. I've gone further from the shit we've done for free. But ain't nothing for free, right?
Right.
You put in, you get rewarded, that shit comes back.
Everything comes at a cost, and it comes back to you. Like we always get something out of it, whether it's materialistic or not. And like one of my mentors told me a couple years ago, like some of the best work that you're gonna do in your whole career, especially with what you do, is gonna be free.
For sure. And I mean that's a great mentor.
Yeah.
Because they are that's written. You could find many books where they got examples of people doing things because they believed in doing them, and from that, they gain value through that. Yeah. Now, fast forward, yo, when I call a price to do work, there's no haggle, and I be like, oh shit. But I don't raise my prices. I mean, my price is my price, but
exactly,
it ain't. I used to get now it's. I'll say half now and half later.
Yeah, no messing around.
Right, but I realized that came through value, that came through trust, that came through being good to people and caring about the music. I care about my music. Like none of this shit is like this my crib. There ain't none of this shit for nobody else but me for real. I mean it's my shit. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But if it's gonna be here and I'm gonna put my name on it. Yeah. I'm going to give everybody the same thing because I don't want you to go out there and be like, yo, who fuck your record up? Yo, Mike fuck my record. Because that's the first thing someone going to say. Yeah. They ain't going to say, if the record fire, yo, no one says my name. I mean, they do later. But but if the record is fucked up, they going to be like,
the blame game. Yeah, the blame game.
But I work with that. I deal with a lot of artists, a lot of works from different studios around the country, and they literally, he did it, and I'm like, see, y'all would do this shit to me if I did that. But that's why you gotta my name go out on a lot of records. So
you gotta make sure it's worth it. Exactly.
Oh, I try. I try hard. I stay up late at night. Some people think it's like, oh, yo, but it's like I love the shit, so it don't really feel like work. Yeah.
Because you're doing what you love at the end of the day.
Hell yeah, round the clock. I mean, why not?
I mean, that's important, and like it shows that you are a pillar in your community because you even have a mural.
That came from my friend.
How did that come about?
So my friend Nils Westergaard, he's a world-renowned muralist, and he painter, artist,
Mm-hmm.
photographer, videographer. He does so much.
It's
He
in
actually,
downtown, right? In the
yeah,
downtown
yeah,
Richmond area.
yep, in Jackson Ward, right on the side of Good People Studios
Okay.
near Mama J's. But yeah, Nelson Westergaard, he's yeah, he's an ill dude, and he just he's my friend, and he couldn't wait to paint me on a wall. So
That's
when he got
cool.
the opportunity and they were able to get the wall, it actually went up on Reddit, and it was a bunch of people trying to get the joint, but Good Joe at Good People's was the one that made the most noise about
That's
having it
fire.
come in. So yeah, but I mean, I'm grateful for that. It's art for art. So a lot of times people think I got a mural because I did something good, but really the good part was I inspired my other art friend. You know what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying.
And
Like,
and it's really art for art. So even in this room, or I got some art. I got art all around me, but I don't know. I've been amused for a lot of people, but it's really art for art. You know, I
mm-hmm.
love that my art can inspire more art to come
Yeah.
back. And like I say this all the time, all energy return to the source. So if I'm giving out art and that's what's coming back, then that was
Yeah,
I
it's
hit my
worth it.
target. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it that
So
makes it well worth it, like a full circle.
yeah, 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 and that's what we supposed to be doing. We saying we
Yeah,
artists, and art should come back in many
yeah,
forms. In
and
many
it is the
forms.
energy.
Yeah,
So that's one the only thing in the world that cannot be what is it? It can't be
destroyed or
destroyed
created.
or
It's,
created.
yeah,
So it's like that says enough.
yeah.
You know, if there were some advice that you could give to younger Michael Millions, what would it be?
Believe in yourself.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like
because
that.
like there was a lot of things I saw on my journey, and we ain't talked about it, but there's a lot of things that I saw on my journey that wasn't happening for people around me, and it kind of gave me a I don't even know what the word is, like survivor's guilt, where you
Mhm.
like with a bunch of people, but this thing only happened for you. I have a
Yeah.
lot of those stories in my life where this only like these wild things occurred. I could share like even I played an ill show like at the National. It was just me and Nas. Like in my story, in my timeline, that's a wild story to tell. Like once upon a time in Richmond, Virginia, there was a show, and it was just Nas and Michael Millions.
That's
That's
fine.
wild. I
Yeah,
played for 30 minutes. Nas played for 30 minutes,
that's
and we
crazy.
left. And this was super, super, super packed out. And yeah, it was an ill show. But these are things when I think about the journey and all of these things. I'm like, yo, why did these things happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Why did they happen in proximity to other cool people? Why do I have certain key figures in hip hop, from like Nas to Clark Kent's to like all these different people in my rap history, um, and a host of other MCs or artists. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
even Mad Skills. We talk about him a lot, but like I said, this is a pioneer. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, I have a lot of pioneers. I like to consider myself a pioneer, but I'm amongst them, and I wonder how I've been written about in books with D'Angelo and the greats. I got the book up there, and how did I get mentioned in books with these greats? And these are things in my history, and I'll be like, oh shit. But if I would have just the first time some shit like that happened, fully believed in it,
Yeah.
sometimes I'd be wondering if I'd be like Scrooge McDuck, filthy rich. No, I'm joking. Nah, but sometimes you gotta think like that. So if
Yeah.
I could tell the younger me, it's like, yo, nigga, believe in that.
Yeah.
When you bodied that cipher and everybody was like, oh, yo, you should have been like, you know what I mean? You should have
Yeah.
changed your mind
Yeah.
then versus being
Perspective.
like, oh nah, then maybe they thought that was cool. I'm just Mike though,
Yeah.
But yeah, the younger me or anybody, yo, just believe in yourself. If you got an idea, I see people take ideas out of their mind all the time, and they don't even believe in like other things. Like I be thinking it's crazy. I be like, yo, did you just, yo, my man's Jay, yo, he designed, yo, imagine I never even seen nobody. I've had gold teeth made and pieces, but I'm like, yo, I don't know those people. I always dealing with other people when I'm dealing with that. But when a man's got an idea,
Mm-hmm.
it could take an idea and say, yo, we're gonna do this, and it starts out on paper, and then it's around somebody's wrist or neck or whatever the case may be. And some people don't realize, like, yo, you could do that with anything.
Yeah.
That's why I said money the easiest thing to get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That just come after. Like
yeah, you get money.
it's
That's
like
quick. You just gotta think about it.
I don't know what movie it was. I don't know if it's a song or a movie, but it was like, have you taken something out of your head and made it into something, motherfucker? Yeah. Like that's like some other type of shit.
And I think it's it's super important that we realize that, we have that ability or power or energy or whatever you want to call it. And you got to recognize where it all come from. But yeah, I tell my younger self to believe in it all, because the shit, it's, like I said, if I told you my whole story, you wouldn't believe me. You know what I mean? But if I told you, if someone told me that I'd be here when I was young, I wouldn't have believed that.
You wouldn't believe it? You lived in New York years
on
ago,
and
right?
Off, yeah, on and off, like chasing music shit. So hanging out in Brooklyn, hanging out in like the Lower East Side, and just trying to like just getting my name up. My music didn't break in Virginia.
It was in New York.
Yeah, we had to. That was when we had to go to New York. It was blog era, and dealing with my first manager was the chief editor of The Source.
Okay.
That's wild, right?
That's wild.
My rap history.
That's fire.
Black boy from Richmond, Virginia, and now your first fucking manager is the chief editor of The Source.
That's fire.
So now she's dropping my records from The Source, but back when The Source was The Source.
Yeah, exactly.
So we going into journalism, print, blog era shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So things like that, that's what had me up top a lot. She was my management, and I was working a tape, and she was taking me to different places, and I was linking with different people, different artists, homies up there, and moving around, hanging out, getting the vibe. But I've been going up there many years, 20-something years, like shopping. But then when it came down, I only go up there for music now. And I have my stints. I was up there a couple years back, for a minute, working on some stuff. And hanging out.
Always busy, always booked and busy.
Yeah, trying to do some things. I was working for an ad agency, so that was cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So you like we said before, you wear many hats.
Yeah.
You have you haven't dropped in quite some time, a full project.
Excellent. Yeah, it's been beautiful. I don't know. I know people have been asking me for the drop for a while.
Like, what's going on? Are you working on anything, or you just kind of?
No, I'm working on tons of music.
Okay.
I think I went through this phase of like growth, as an artist, where like you see what's going on, the trends going on in music. You see what your last record did and the impact it had on everything going on. So when you are in I would say, leadership position or pioneer mindset, where you're saying, yo, when I gave y'all every servant I gave was a new servant. Everything was a new delivery, a new idea, a new concept, new wave of music, new art. You know what I'm saying? That produced more art. This run, I had to dive into another genre, and we sometimes it's cool to just say, yo, I worked on some shit, and I had to like I linked with this person, and now we created this person. Well, nah, I fucked around and dove into a genre I knew very little about, and then I had to learn it, then I had to understand it, and then I had to articulate what that meant to what I wanted to do. And that took a long time. For the projects I'm about to release now, I have a lot of music slated to release, but my next LP,
like your full body of work.
Yeah, my next body of work is on the way, and it's a representation of that time I took. So it's like, when I went into the jazz world, I work with alternate jazz artists like DJ Harrison and Butcher Brown. I got really close to them and worked on their albums and learned the intentionality in the music and the improvisation in like instrumentation, and you can't write raps to real jazz music, not really, but because the shit changes, so your tempos vocally gotta shift. What if homie starts playing a little more groovier because he got the bomb smoking, or this guy's having a bad day and now he's playing the drums a little harder, and you're just coasting. I'm always smoking.
You have to be adaptable.
And you got to be adaptable. So you know, it taught me how to be, uh, just learn to go to the microphone and speak what I had to speak, and it's thoughtful, being thoughtful, but also being, um, not overthinking like
Yeah.
the rhymes anymore. Like
Yeah.
whether I rhyme or not, it's not really the fucking case. I've
More
been
like
rhyming.
letting it free form, like letting it go,
Yeah,
like
it's just, but being
letting it
thoughtful,
flow. Yeah.
like what's the
And
thought, what's the
intentional.
idea? Yeah, more intention, but less overthinking.
Yeah.
Less sitting here and
like practical, like so over analytical, like just letting it flow, kind of like a speakeasy vibe.
Yeah, I'm not the vibe of the
But
record,
you know what I mean.
More so like the
letting
approach.
it go.
Just letting,
Yeah.
So a lot of people would see me cutting the songs, and they might have seen me the record. I might get the record, and it might just be on. I might play it for like 2-3 minutes, and then they see me drop it in the session. And they see me put the headphones on, and now I'm like, yo, be quiet right quick. Let me cut this joint.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, you just got that beat. Now you about to record. I'm like, yeah. I'm done thinking about it. And that's how I approach this record, because I couldn't just statically stand there and write to it, because the music was shifting. So either way, it just took me a minute to come with something new. And sometimes it takes a while. Like, we all, like, when you get done with an album, that shit is like a figure. But when you're done and you start over, it's like a ball of clay again. And now we gotta do something with this ball of clay, and it's gotta be unique, and it's gotta be new, and it's gotta be fresh. And I've been doing music forever, so it's gotta be fun to me too.
And you even said that you had to learn a couple new things for this
I had to learn a lot.
Like this new album, the new LP.
I would have never been able to create my new LP right after doing my last LP, because I didn't know enough.
Yeah, and you can apply all the things that we were talking about earlier that you learned from making all these other albums and collaborating with all these different people. Like, these are things that go in your toolbox, and then when you're creating new bodies of work,
now you get to use all of that.
And, it just goes.
And now and you end up with a beautiful product. And I'm really excited about this next run. This new music is gonna be really fresh.
I'm excited for you to more Grammy nominations for you, sir.
I hope. I'm
unlimited
definitely
amount.
Submit it.
We're about to be like Killer Mike one of these days.
Definitely. I told my mom I'm gonna give her all my awards, noms, whatever we get. I send all the nice stuff to my mom's house, but.
That's exciting, man. I can't wait to hear your new LP.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna stay tapped in with everything you have going on, and I'm gonna keep an ear out to like all the projects that you're engineering, because I know that's usually like inside. People don't usually put it, but I'm gonna keep a lookout to see what's coming, so I can just listen to what you got coming out.
Yeah, that's definitely a story I'm gonna keep telling. I want to start telling these days, is because I don't advertise that I engineer. I don't advertise that I do these things. I don't advertise that I have the space.
And like, there's a bunch of artists that are like, they're tapped into my platform, so these are the things that they're looking for. So
I'm a, if you know kind of situation.
Yeah.
If you can get in contact,
if you try, busy man here, yeah.
And I'm always trying to do something, so I'm not hard to reach. It's just let's we can that's it. But I want to also tell that side of the story now. It's like, not only was I like taking this time to create new music and a new wave and something special for my catalog and for the people, I was also getting busy on this side of the game in a very legit way, and helping the culture, helping my city, helping the state, or elevate music all across. Now Richmond is hella competitive. You know what I'm saying? Now our music sound like we could compete with everything going on.
Got the vibe,
But like that's the game.
They definitely. I will say one thing. I go to a lot of New York shows, and I've been going to things out here, mostly the urban gems, but like the vibe of the room it's like, I feel like I'm home. So it's like, so I feel like that's definitely something that's good. It has like potential for just so much growth. I think I mean, I've been told that it's growing, like it's grown at a big rate, but I feel like it's definitely something that should definitely expand more. I think it's cool, but thank you so much for today. This is such a great combo. Guys, please tap in with the legendary Michael Millions, y'all. You know, if you know about the engineering,
Yeah,
tap
hit me
in with them
up.
if you could
Yeah,
business is business.
yeah,
All right.
business is business.
Thank you
I
so much.
charge $9 million for everything.
9 million an hour. If you got it, tap in.
Yeah.